On this Sunday, the Chicago Bears face the Green Bay Packers, a team whose dynasty may be tottering, but whose proud tradition would not allow them to end a season without their measure of glory. For the Bears, victory meant a Central Division championship. Only pride was at stake for Green Bay. I'm Jack Whitaker, and this is the NFL Game of the Week. The opening kickoff by the Bears was mishandled 3 times by dangerous Travis Williams, and the Bears recovered on the Green Bay 5. On their first 2 downs, the Bears would try to exploit the Packer flanks and fail. Quarterback Jack Concannon, scrambling behind number 72, Jim Cadile, could manage only 1 yard to the right. Then Brian Piccolo was cut down by Packer cornerback Doug Hart for a 4-yard loss on the left side. With it 4th and goal, Mac Percival kicked the Bears into an early 3-0 lead as Bear fans lusted for an early kill by their defense. Once again, Zeke Bratkowski, number 12, stood in at quarterback for injured Bart Starr and sent Donnie Anderson off his left side for 8 yards. On that last play, the much-praised Packer sweep, Anderson was led by both his guards and number 75 tackled Forrest Gregg, pulling from the far side. On 2nd down and short yardage, Bratkowski called a play-action pass, which is standard operating procedure for all Green Bay quarterbacks. Number 86, Boyd Dowler, took Bratkowski's pass and strode 72 majestic yards to a 7-3 Green Bay Packer lead. For Dowler, it was only the beginning of one of the best days in an illustrious 10-year career. On the Bears' next series, number 41, Brian Piccolo, gained 6 yards, but became only a stepping stone for number 66, Ray Nitschke, who on the next play smashed Concannon's flare pass to Ronnie Bull for a loss. Buffeted by a fierce Packer rush, Concannon managed to slip past number 87, Willie Davis, but not 77, Ron Kostelnik, who smartly trailed the play and dropped back for a loss of 10 more. Forced to punt, the Bears would surrender the football, an excellent position to the world champions. This series would prove almost disastrous to the Packers. Not only did their sweeps fail when Bear linebackers played off their blocks, but their ball handling and execution became faulty and unsure. However, their greatest loss came on a pass completion from Bratkowski to fullback Jim Grabowski. On the play, Starr's magnificent substitute suffered a disabling injury and was led off the field. Now, with both Starr and Bratkowski out, Packer head coach Phil Bankston was left with only young Don Horn, who was just recently discharged from the Army and only activated Saturday night. so the Packers were faced with a serious problem. So were the Bears, whose offense heretofore had been unable to move the ball with any consistency against Green Bay. Concannon tried to attack the Packers through the air, and his first pass was almost intercepted by number 24, Willie Wood. Then, behind magnificent protection, Concannon's pump fake set up the bomb. Running free down the sideline, flanker Dick Gordon gathered in the pass by the slim margin of Herb Adderley's vainly outstretched arm. Once again, the Bears' margin was 3 points. Number 13, Don Horn, is young, gifted, and promising. But above all, young and susceptible to such nightmares as the safety blitz. On reviewing that last play, we can see that Horn's attention was focused downfield, and he never saw Rosie Taylor coming with blindside blood in his eye. The second quarter was more rewarding than the first for Horn, who moved the Packers upfield on 2 square outs to the tall, rangy Dowler. To control the blitz, Horn began to audible at the line and use play action. This strategy prospered as Horn, off play action, found Jim Grabowski completely undefended for a 67-yard TD. On that last play, Horn's fake to Donnie Anderson froze the Bear linebackers and allowed Grabowski's easy entree to the end zone as the lead changed hands for the 3rd time in the game. Just before halftime, the Bears mounted their first sustained drive. Concannon parlayed his own imaginative daring with the determined runs of Piccolo and number 29, Ronnie Bull, whose 17-yard burst off tackle blended crisp blocking and second and third efforts by Bull. Trying not to stereotype his offense, Concannon's play mix often dictated a pass. This throw pinned Dick Gordon too closely at the sideline, but it mattered little as penalties on both teams canceled the play. Concannon went back to the run, but this pitch out hit Bull in the shoulder pads, not in his hands, and Leo Carroll, number 67, recovered for Green Bay. In sight of another score, Horn went back to the well, back to play action, and back to Dowler for 45 yards. Once again, we can see that the fake to Anderson set up Horn's perfect pass to Dowler, who came within a stride of another touchdown. Behind blast blocking, number 44, Donnie Anderson, first carried to the 1. Then led Chuck Mercine through number 51, Dick Butkus, for a touchdown that increased the Packer margin to 11 points, 21-10. Just before halftime, Concannon underthrew Dick Gordon, and Doug Hart intercepted to give the Packers another scoring opportunity before intermission. But the score stood the same, 21-10 at halftime, when the Bears ruptured the Packer line and deflected Mike Mercer's field goal attempt. Only 30 minutes stood between the Bears and elimination in the Central Division. Knowing full well that a loss to the Packers and a Minnesota victory in Philadelphia would make for a sad Christmas, the Bears went about the grim and difficult task of containing the Packers. Watch number 75, Forrest Gregg, at the top of your screen. His block on number 87, Ed Obradovich, sends the defensive end off into space, and Jim Grabowski off for a fine gain with a swing pass. On the next play, Horn threw off balance, but the Bears' Richie Pettibone was called for interference on number 81, Mar Fleming. When the Bears closed the middle on Donnie Anderson, he smartly cut back to the outside for 21 yards as the Packers continued to apply relentless pressure to the Bear defense. With the Bears blitzing everyone but head coach Jim Dooley, Horn wisely sent out only one receiver, Boyd Dowler. Dowler caught Horn's pass, but was caught himself with offensive interference. With its 2nd and 23, Grabowski managed only 4 yards with another swing pass. On 3rd down, Donnie Anderson picked up the vital first down on a 21-yard sweep. When viewed again, we can see that Anderson followed his blockers beautifully, then cut back at the precise moment. However, the astounding part of the play was that the Packers ran when the 3rd and 19 situation obviously dictated pass. But then that is why the Packers are world champions. Number 57, center Ken Bowman, delivered a fine block, and Jim Grabowski delivered another Green Bay first down. Horn almost became a goat when he fumbled the center snap, but he recovered, and on the very next play, he calmly connected with Boyd Dowler for a 25-yard score. On that last play, the Packers formed a human wall for Horn, who threw a picture pass to Dowler. Now trailing 28-10, the day became even more gloomy for the Bears when some bad news came from Philadelphia. Against the Eagles, head coach Bud Grant and his Vikings met determined resistance from a team that had nothing to lose. There was no joy etched on Viking faces, only vivid reflections of 60 minutes of all-out war. Only twice victorious in 13 games, the Eagles, like the Packers, could salvage only pride, not a championship today. The ice-hardened ground, coupled with even harder play, left the outcome in doubt until late in the last quarter. Quarterback Joe Kapp, number 11, who had scrambled and led a cautious attack all day, rolled around his own left side and into the end zone for the climactic score that ensured a hard-won 24-17 triumph. Now, only a win would ensure championship dreams in Chicago, and the Bears trailed by 18 points, 28-10. The Bears began to run with desire. And the Packers tackled with equal abandon. Cautious, plodding steps to victory would not work today, so the Bears tried a flea flicker, and Concannon scrambled for a first down. After this brief flirtation with wide-open football, Concannon sent his setbacks battering into the heart of the Packers' defense. Alternating Piccolo and Bull, Chicago reached the Green Bay 21. Now every yard would become more grudging as the Bears' destiny would be realized one way or another at the end of the last 15 minutes of play. On an 8-yard run, Ronnie Bull took the Bears one step closer to victory. On that last touchdown, the Bears victimized the inexperienced left side of the Packer line, composed of Leon Crenshaw and Leo Carroll, both first-year NFL players. Now the score stood Packers 28, Bears 17, with time becoming the ever-present enemy. The Bears' defense became a black tidal wave that enveloped everything in white. It pursued and hit with fury, and the most ferocious was number 51, all-pro middle linebacker Dick Butkus. When the Bears regained the ball, it was evident that Green Bay's appetite for aggression was just as undiminished. Throwing off balance, Concannon speared Dick Gordon between two Packer defenders for 21 yards. The last pass was successful because of a delayed blitz by Ray Nitschke, who left the middle vacant for Gordon to exploit. Number 45, John Rouser, is injured All-Pro Bob Jeter's replacement at cornerback. And on this Concannon pass to Gordon, he saved a possible touchdown. Rouser's deflection ushered on Mac Percival again. Percival's second field goal narrowed the Packer lead to just 8 points, 28-20. With less than 8 minutes to play, another Bear drive was aborted, and they were forced to relinquish the football to Green Bay. Resembling a younger model of Bart Starr, Horn took the Packers from the shadow of their goal with a completion to Dowler. On 2 sweeps, Grabowski twice ran afoul of his blocker, Gail Gillingham, and lost 5 yards on both attempts. When Chicago regained possession, it took them only 1 play to score. Concannon rolled free from Willie Davis's rush and tossed a pretty pass to Dick Gordon, who raced 51 yards for the touchdown. Behind at one time, 28-10, the Bears had roared back to within a single point, 28-27. Now, with less than 5 minutes to play, the Bears kicked off to Green Bay, and Elisha Pitts ran it back to the 25. Everyone knew that the Packers would try to grind out first downs and run the clock, right? Wrong. For some inexplicable reason, Green Bay threw 3 straight passes, all of which fell incomplete. Whether it was a surprise factor or not, the strategy failed. And with 3 minutes to play, Chicago would reclaim the ball and maybe a championship. Rolling free from the pocket to avoid Green Bay's rush, Concannon rifled a pass to Bob Wallace that stopped the clock. With it 3rd and 2, Ronnie Bull fought his way to a first down as only 1 minute and 49 seconds remained. Again, Concannon scrambled, and finding no clear target, he ran out of bounds and lost 4 yards at the 47. It was now 4th and 14, and a fierce wind made a field goal impossible. Concannon forced a pass, threw down the middle, and the Bears' season was over. Ray Nitschke's interception sadly concluded a Cinderella year for the Bears. It was a year plagued by injuries to Bear bodies, but not to Bear spirit. Sunday after Sunday, they faced a count of 10 and rose again and again to snatch victory when all seemed hopeless. By the margin of a mere 2 points, their title dreams were crushed as the season simply ran out on them.